You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Put on that music, Jake. Come on.
Woo!
Okay, it's all right. You can dance now. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection Radio program, designed for and made possible by the Amel Agency, but also, like I was saying, designed for the members of the Woodlands-Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And if you're a member of the Woodlands-Conroe Hispanic Chamber, you're also a member of the Vintage Park Hispanic Chamber, the Katy Hispanic Chamber, the Heights and the Galleria Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. The mothership is called the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. That's the 501c6 that houses all these other chambers. So all the satellite chambers are very important to us, but this is the one that started it all about a year and 4 months ago. Now we're about 253 members strong and growing, and we're very proud of that. So we're very thankful to all of our members, and just want to let you know that you do not have to be Hispanic. You don't need to be Hispanic to join. You don't need to be you don't need to speak Spanish to join. All you need to do is show up positive, and we will do the rest. So, and our whole point is to help you build that bridge between English and Spanish speakers, build the bridge between one market and the other, and sort of reduce the fear generally that comes from not knowing. And there's plenty of that. Today we have a special guest. She runs a company called Image 360 North Houston. What they do is more than just signs, but signs is a big part of what they do. Remembering that signs are a form of visual communications, they specialize in visual communications. Her name is Angela Schimmels. Angela, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Dr. Carlos.
And it's great to have you, Angela.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Very good. Well, and of course, you guys already know that the guy who just got a new voice like this, and he now has a new radio voice, and he sounds really cool, is our executive producer, our engineer, and the man of the hour, Stan. Is it Stan? It's not even Stan.
No, it's not Stan.
It's Jake. Okay, so we have Captain Jake over there. I said Stan because I was thinking about Stan at the same time. That happens. You know?
I was going to say, I was like, Dr. Carlos, I know you know my name.
Have you ever done that before, that you're thinking of somebody and then you say that person's name versus the person you should be saying? Maybe not.
I've done even worse.
When I was growing up, my parents, right? Okay, here's my father. This is my father. There's 7 brothers and 6 sisters. There was 14 of us all together. And so my dad would go down the whole list. You know, Chris, George, Brett, trying to say Carlos. And then in the end, he'd just say, you, because it's so many. So I kind of had a father moment, I guess, that happens. Anyway, all right. So we're here with Jake. We're here with Angela Schimmels of Image 360 Designs. They're not designs. It's Image 360 North Houston.
Correct. Yes.
/ Spring or just North Houston?
North Houston.
Okay. And the biggest thing, and we'll talk a lot more about what you're doing, Angela, not only for the community, but for the chamber and for our members in a couple minutes. But so people get a good idea sort of what you do. Not only do you do visual representations of things, in other words, signs, you guys do a lot more than that. You also wrap cars and do stickers and all kinds of cool stuff.
We do anything that can help brand your business and make you visible to your clientele.
Does that include business cards and websites?
Yes. Business cards, yes. Websites, no.
Okay, but you do images that can help a website.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Then you also know people who have websites.
Yes.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Before we begin talking about all the wonderful things that you have to offer, Angela, we'd like to start our segment with just telling our members, first of all, how important they are to us and how they really are they are the reason why we actually get up in the morning and come out and try to do these things. And to that end, and to help our members be more successful, we do all kinds of events, almost 40 events per month. And so I want to tell you a little bit about the events that are happening these days. For example, today, at 5:30 p.m., over at a place called the Farmers Insurance, the young lady is Rocio Barajas. She owns the agency. She has a ribbon cutting there tonight. Now, you are familiar with this chamber's type of ribbon cuttings, yes?
Yes, sir.
But tonight's going to be your maiden voyage if you come visit us?
Tonight will be the first ribbon cutting I will actually be attending, yes.
Okay. So you were telling me, why does it matter to you so much to attend a ribbon cutting with this chamber? Because I know you do other ones.
Ribbon cuttings are very important because they're personal to the members. In many cases, and probably most cases, it will be the first and only chance you'll have to actually show the general public, who in many cases has never heard about you, what you're about, what your possibilities are, and who you are.
Right. So a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
And we tell this to our members all the time. I do that, all the time. I reiterate this. I really don't care, and I do, but I say it this way: if you don't show up to a breakfast, and if you don't show up to a networking event after hours, that's okay. Just make sure you show up to the ribbon cuttings, because not only is it important to our members, it's important to our chamber. And if you want to be involved, the cool thing about ribbon cuttings is that people that are hosting ribbon cuttings generally are very positive. They're very open. They want to talk to you. They're happy that you show up. So it's a great way of breaking the ice. It's a great way of meeting people. You met somebody who is quite a character, Greg Zachary. Maybe he's listening, from the Oilery, which is right down the street. And you met him at a ribbon cutting. Is that correct, Angela?
That is absolutely correct. Yes, sir.
So what function did you have at that ribbon cutting? What were you doing there?
I believe I was attending as a diplomat of another chamber.
Oh, let's just go with that. Okay. Diplomat of another chamber. Very good. All right. So, and they're a nice chamber. They're good friends of ours. They're right up the street, and we appreciate that they're around. So, anyway, tonight, 5:30 p.m. at the Rocio Barajas agency, a farmer's agency. We have a ribbon cutting tonight. And she promised some really good food and really good drinks. And so we're expecting our members to show up. So if you're listening and you're a member, we would love to see you there. That's tonight. Tomorrow, we have our weekly Vintage Park Luncheon. Oh, no, what am I saying? Thursday, we have our Vintage Park Luncheon. Tomorrow, we're open because we have all kinds of follow-ups that we need to do tomorrow. But Thursday, we do this every week. So this is another chamber, another segment of our chamber. And it's growing very quickly, Vintage Park. So that's at Spring Creek Barbecue, 249 and Jones, over off Luetta and 249. Okay. And so you send one of your staff members to that event.
Yes.
And that's Judy.
Yes. My business development manager goes to that every week.
Okay. And I think she enjoys it.
She enjoys it immensely. And she's met a number of wonderful people there.
And I think she's actually made some deals or something. Hopefully.
I believe she has, yes.
And that's actually one of the biggest reasons why we do so many events, because we know that meetings make money.
Yes.
Bottom line, if you are one of those people who thinks that you can make $1 million sitting at home in your pajamas, you are mistaken. That does not work. Trust me, those ads, I've tried them. It doesn't work. Then there's other, you know what I mean? That there's folks that think that they don't need to meet anybody, and they hate people in general, and they think they're going to make a living by avoiding people. Mm-hmm. What career actually can you have that avoids people and actually be successful in that you can think of?
Oh, I'm sure there is one, but I can't think of it.
It's out there somewhere. The bottom line, though, is
doesn't sound any fun.
Well, and most human beings are social beings, and we want and need to be around others just for our own mental health. So to say I hate events, you're really expressing a fear. You're not expressing a displeasure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I just don't like it because I'm afraid of getting up and talking to people is a real reason why a lot of folks hate these things. Not our members, though, because we talk to our members and we talk to them very, very personally about what it takes for them to be more successful when they stand before others. Yep. So we train them, and that's another thing that we do for our membership. Now, Thursday night, an organization that we hold in very high esteem, and they're great members of our chamber, Ella Springs Senior Living Community, is having their ribbon cutting. Are you going to that one as well?
I will be there.
Okay, so now, have you made relationships already with some of those people? I mean, have you ever?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I've met the
CEO?
CEO, I believe, Mr. Lopez. Wonderful person.
And the executive director?
And I've met the executive director, as a matter of fact.
Okay. So they're great people.
Great people.
They're having the ribbon cutting Thursday night. And of course, if you're a member, if you're listening, and if you'd like to show, please do. Because they have better food than most people because they have a kitchen and a chef and all that. So it's going to be nice. On Friday we have breakfast at Katie. Everybody knows we're doing weekly breakfast in Katie. Monday, we have Cafe con Carlos, which is just a personalized coaching sort of one-on-one motivation on Monday morning. And that's it. So that's the week. And we're excited about next week and what's coming up. When we come back from break, Angela, we're going to start asking you a few questions about you, about your company, and about where you're from and all that. So we'll get you to tell us more about yourself when we come back.
Sounds great.
We'll be right back.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
A Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for summer internship opportunities, a Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to grab the mic and be on the air. A Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world all year round. Be an on-air personality, talk show producer, or YouTube, TV, podcast editor. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776.
And we're back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio program, live all the way from the great city of Conroe, where we overlook downtown Conroe. Right here is Main Street, beautiful part of town. Angela, do you like Conroe?
I love Conroe.
And we were just talking about that. What a quaint, sort of small town, safe feeling you get when you're around.
I like the small town feel. Absolutely.
You know, just because, and it's not a bad thing at all. It just is that it feels good to be in a place where you can feel the warmth of the town everywhere.
Absolutely.
And you've got the big city right there too. If you want to go out for a night and still get that exposure as well.
Yeah. See, great input. It's only a hop, skip, and a stumble 50 miles down the road. It is. I mean, it's not that bad, you know. And yes, for sure. So we love Conroe, and we're happy that you're listening.
And the Crichton Theater is awesome.
Have you visited? You've visited.
I've been there a few times, yes.
They got the Mary Poppins going on right now. It's awesome.
The Mary Poppins.
I have not seen that one yet.
I'm sure he has. Have you seen the Mary Poppins a few times?
I couldn't get a ticket.
Really?
It was sold out. They had to add a show on their final day, a matinee showing, and that extra one, I could not get a ticket to it. They were gone
amazing.
Like that.
Wow. There you go. See? It seems like Conroe's not only small, they're also cultured, which is very cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go back to Angela Schimmels, proprietor, owner of Image 360 North Houston. You guys are specialists in anything that will brand your company,
yes,
including signage and business cards and letterhead and all those things.
Yes, sir.
But you will also wrap a truck.
We will wrap a truck. We will wrap a vehicle.
Now, I got to tell you this. Somebody recently contacted the chamber and said, I want to join, but I need to know your rates, and et cetera. So basically, when they say, I want to join, but I want to hear your rates, if I tell them the rates, they won't join because they don't have any value. They don't attach value to our chamber. So I asked them, what are you doing now to market yourself? I mean, how are you marketing yourself, just to try to understand their business? They said, well, you know, I really don't think we're going to join. This was their answer. I really don't think we're going to join. We just bought a truck and we're going to have it wrapped, and that's how we're going to market our business. I said, okay, so you've got one thing, but how are you going to market your business? So in essence, they think by driving around, they're going to market their business. Now, it is a very valuable way of marketing your business, but it by no means can be the only way.
No, it is one of many.
You have to do other things.
Absolutely.
You know? I couldn't get them to understand that, and I think that they've gone away to wrap their truck. So there you go. I know. But you guys wrap vehicles.
We do. We have wrapped mailboxes. We've wrapped motorcycles. We've wrapped refrigerators.
Really?
Yes. Matter of fact, we have one in our shop that is a wrapped refrigerator from the garage that was just a plain old boring white refrigerator, and now it's got a beautiful scenery on it.
Okay. Well,
showcases our work when clients comes in.
That's a good investment of $500, I'm sure, or whatever it costs. You know, hey, some people buy what they buy, right? You know, and I'm just glad that we're in the receiving end of that for sure. So, okay. So, Angela, I was going to ask you, this I think is interesting about what we talked about earlier in the green room next door. You chose Texas as a place to live, you and your husband, to start your business here.
Yes.
Because of traffic and because of the economy. Now, I want to learn more about that. You said you were telling me that traffic is nowhere near as bad here as it is in Los Angeles. Is that what you said? Well,
keeping in mind I grew up in Southern California, not far from LA. We're used to a lot of traffic, very, very high economy as far as cost of living. And so when we decided to move, we literally put a map on the wall and said, okay, where do we want to live, and X'd out several parts of the country that have this white stuff that I think it's called snow, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, go to Chicago
I
for
hear
some
it's
of that.
cold anyway. And so we said no snow. And so we looked at a few different parts of the country. I had been in Sugar Land in a previous life. And so we came out here, looked out in Houston, and fell in love.
Okay, and you were telling me that you don't worry at all about the traffic here in Houston, that it doesn't get to you.
It's nothing compared to L.A.
That's pretty amazing because for me, because I've lived in every city in Texas, so San Antonio, El Paso, Dallas, Houston, and even a little bit in Fort Worth. And this is by far the most unusual form of traffic because it happens everywhere and at any hour.
Yes,
you're
that is
driving
true.
down 45 on Sunday and it's clogged up. And you think, what is going on? You know, the one thing that really struck me was when I was driving in when I first moved here about 5 years ago. I was going about 70 miles an hour, and I got passed by someone who was hauling a boat, and he was going at least 90 miles an hour, you know? So we've got some people that can drive pretty unbelievable up here in Houston.
Yeah, I will have to say that if you plan on going the speed limit or even within about 10 miles of the speed limit, be prepared to get run over.
Yeah, and well, okay. And I always knew this. You can't do a lot of that stuff in Dallas because you get stopped. And here I've always wondered where are the policemen? You know, it's just one of those
Now,
things.
mind you, I don't do that, of course.
Oh, never. But it's such a large city. But okay, so it's better than LA. And bottom line is, you grew up in Ventura.
Ventura County, just north of L.A.
Because I grew up in Pasadena.
Not far at all.
That's over the epicenter of all Mexicans in the United States is right there in Pasadena, you know? And that's where we all come from. Ask anybody, right? They used to be Mexico. All that part of the country was Mexico at some point. So that's why the populace is just gigantic in Hispanic, you know? Anyway, so you're here now and you do business all over town. So you're just not, even though your title says North Houston, if someone from Pearland, is it Pearland or Pearland?
I believe it's Pearland.
Pearland. Instead, like humble, it's not humble, it's humble.
Oh, I learned that one right off the bat, yeah. You can tell the people that are not local when they go to a networking event and pronounce it humble, which I did about a month into my stay here.
And what did you get the look?
Oh, I got the look from about 100 people, including Mattress Mac, who was there. Yeah.
Come on, Mattress Mac, what's going on? Well, that's one. There's another city called Buda. It's not Buda, it's Buda. But God forbid they spell it correctly. So Buda means widow. And it's spelled V as in Victor, I-U-D-A, Viuda.
Never heard of that one.
That's in Spanish. It's right outside of Austin, going south to San Antonio. It's Buda. Well, it's spelled B-U-D-A in English, B-U-D-A. But you're supposed to pronounce it Buda. Okay, who knows? So I'm walking around that town saying, hey, I'm in Buda. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy, you know? Well, they thought I was the anti-something because I'm talking about Buddha and not Jesus or something. I don't know. They got upset. So bottom line is people have special ways of pronouncing their names. And you know, it's one of those things. So that's Houston, that's Buda, and that's all good.
I'll try pronouncing Kirkendall to people who are not from
the
area.
Even my GPS
That's
can
another
pronounce
fun
Kirkendall.
one.
My GPS is Kuikun something.
Yeah, Coequendall, I believe, is what mine says.
Yeah. So they bottom line is, you know what? People have preferences. We respect those preferences.
Absolutely.
And it is what it is. So big deal.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you something else. You seem like a really educated individual. Your background, you're a former CPA.
Yes, sir.
You have an MBA.
Yes, sir.
So you've gone through a lot of schooling, and now you're in business. How valuable is it for small business owners to get a good education, would you say?
I think it's absolutely invaluable. Not only does the numbers aspect of running a small business, which any small business owner needs to be comfortable with, and they need to know what their numbers are. They can't just fly by the seat of their pants or they're not going to be in business very long.
You know, the worst thing is, not everybody, but a few of our members don't have a seat anymore. The seat of their pants burned off a long time ago. I mean, they're blazing, you know? They're working very hard, but they don't know if they're making money.
Right.
Or they don't know how much they have to work to be able to make the money they need to make. And worst off, because you've gone to school, you understand that you have to have some form of business plan and some form of marketing plan.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you that it's pretty unsettling and sad. Good businesses, no marketing plan.
Absolutely.
You know, so they think that the way to market their business is through networking.
Right.
Now you do a lot of networking, Angela.
I do a lot of networking.
Where else
yes.
do you network?
I have a couple chambers that I belong to. I'm very involved in this chamber. I do networking and obviously other aspects of my life, including many groups that I work with to help animal adoptions. And we do a lot of work with them in the Montgomery County and North Harris County
But
area.
you also do BNI.
I do BNI. Yes, I would have said that eventually.
So shout out to BNI.
Yes, I've been in BNI off and on probably almost 12 years now.
One of the best ones, bar none, is called the Woodlands Winning Edge BNI.
Yes.
I'm a former member, so I can say this. They're very, very money focused, very business focused, and of
Absolutely.
course, and they get it. They understand the relationship base and all that. I love the members there. I really do. The old timers, not the new ones. I don't know the new ones, But the guys that were there a year ago, that's when I was in that BNI. And 40% of all of our chamber is BNI, because they understand that to be successful, you have to network and you have to get involved in these things.
Absolutely. They understand the value.
And so you have a presentation there tomorrow.
I do, as a matter of fact, yes.
And what are you going to talk about? Just in general yourself or,
I am going to do a little bit of background. This particular group has not ever heard a presentation from me before. So I'm going to start out with a little bit about my background, my history, where we came from, how we got here, what our target market is, how we can help, and most importantly, why somebody would come to us.
Okay, so your target market. Well, let's go back to some other thing. With that 10-minute presentation with BNI, the bottom line is that what you're trying to get from them is their heart. So the more sophisticated you get, the more, let me tell you how cool I am and show you my features, the less that they're going to want to listen to you, because these guys don't listen. Let's be honest. Well, some do. That BNI does. Most of them don't. All right. So you're a very entertaining speaker, so you're going to be very successful. And I look forward to hearing about the good things that came from that 10-minute presentation tomorrow night. So if you're interested in listening to Angela and you're listening to us today,
3:30 Pilates, Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday, tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Pilates. It's a free meeting. You show up. Angela's the featured speaker. You can learn more about what she's doing. And also, Angela, if somebody wants to give you a buzz, like somebody wants to call you today, what number would they call?
Best number to call me would be my cell number, which is 281-910-0843.
0843.
Yes, sir.
So it's 281-910-0843.
Yes, sir.
To give you a call. And what if somebody wanted to call the station here, Jake? What do they do? Come on, wake up.
The station?
Like you. What if somebody wants to call you?
If somebody wants to call me, actually, better yet, they would reach out to our station manager, which is our wonderful Dick Schissler. And easiest way to do it is just go to Lone Star Community Radio or search it on Google, and the phone number will come up. And the phone number is 936-647-3776. So, and then, as always, you can go to irlonestar.com, and Dick Schissler's email is up there, and it's dick@irlonestar.com, and reach out to him, and any information you want, it can be found on our website or through him.
That was one long commercial. Okay, so let's go back to Angela. So, Angela, you've been in business for 12 years.
Yes, sir.
And what were you doing before that then?
Before that, I worked in auditing and in internal accounting with General Electric in Southern California.
And was that all in California then? Did you travel at all? No?
I traveled a little bit right before that at a prior job, and that's how I'd actually come to Houston for the first time, in Sugar Land specifically.
But that's pretty boring, isn't it? I mean, accounting, auditing, things like that.
It has its moments.
Sure. Well, I mentioned that.
Not everybody likes you, but yes, it has its moments.
Yeah. One of the members, one of the benefits of our membership is a marketing audit. So we audit the marketing effort of a company, just through different questions and different, indicator points. That's been very valuable also. So an audit is sort of like a decomposition of a task to understand all the points, all the processes. That's what we call an audit.
Absolutely.
Where you go back and reconstruct everything.
Yes, and we do that for sales and signage and graphics. We'll do that on site for you.
When we come back, we're going to hear a lot more about how you do all this, Angela. We're going to learn more about you and about your background. And I think all that will be very interesting. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available in Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Attention movie lovers, The Ticket Stub is a new radio show servicing Montgomery County that is meant for you. The Ticket Stub is available live every Thursday at noon on FM 104.5 and 106.1, as well as anytime on irlonestar.com. Connor and Dick will let you know what's coming out in the theater, what is worth streaming, and what's going on in the world of film. The Ticket Stub, your home for movie talk.
Don't know who that was, but he didn't sound really nice. Anyway, this is Dr. Carlos Sanchez. This is the Hispanic Chamber Connection, and I'm here with Angela Schimmels. Angela's with Image 360 North Houston. It's all about visual communications, including signage and business cards and car wrapping and anything that brands your company, they do. So, Angela, would you please just tell us a little bit more about your value proposition and the kind of things you guys do in the marketplace, if you would?
One of the things that we offer our clients is what we call a site audit or a signage audit. And we will come to your business and we will walk around the business, both inside, outside. We will come up with suggestions for either improving your current signage, whether it's just simply making you more visible, whether it's upgrading if you've rebranded, first of all, and maybe you've got some of the old brand signage, maybe you've got some of the new brands, or perhaps you just need to add some signage.
Okay, so like for a small business owner, Angela, is that what you guys would do if I have a storefront?
If you have a storefront, perhaps you don't necessarily need that. We will offer it as well, but you might just simply need something in the parking lot, something on your windows, something inside. Maybe you'd like to put your logo on the reception area wall. You've got a few cubicles you need to put the names on. We can do that as well.
And so who do you guys work with best? I mean, what's your target market, if you could define one? I mean, I'm sure you guys work with all kinds of people, but who do you like to work with the most?
Our target market would be facilities, managers and operators, schools, churches, multi-unit facilities, such as apartment complexes,
Good.
senior living facilities.
And hospitals?
Hospitals, absolutely.
Okay, so we have several members that are representatives of hospitals, and hopefully they're listening today, or hopefully they'll listen to one of your presentations sometime soon. So thank you again, Angela, for being on our show.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
All right, so that was a little bit of silence on my part because I was trying to switch off my camera. Angela, that basically what that is just a little quick snippet of a video that we do, and we'll put it on Facebook, you know, because the television, the radio station sends us the whole show, and they post it on YouTube.
Okay.
So when that happens, I take that link, I put it on Facebook, and I send it to you as well. So it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, you have it, and you can do as you wish with it, you know?
Perfect.
And this being a brief one of just your presentation goes a lot faster, and it goes everywhere as well, to our membership.
Well, I have been told I've got a face for radio.
Okay. There you go. That's a little bit of radio humor. Thank you, Angela, for that. That was a very good moment because that's exactly what I've been told as well. So there you go. And so many other of our members kind of experience the same thing. They just don't know that radio is really just about talking. I mean, it's not really a big deal. You know? I mean, how have you felt so far, Angela? Do you feel comfortable?
Absolutely. I love it.
So it's not really...
It's a wonderful atmosphere, very relaxing.
And plus, you know, our producer here, he's chiming in, which, you know, they usually don't. But now he's starting to get a lot more confident and cocky because he's starting to get a voice now. He's starting to sound like this, you know, like a radio DJ. And so with that, you're supposed to sound like that, right?
Yes.
Melodic? Your voice is supposed to sound like you're singing or something?
Yes, it's supposed to have a rhythm to it.
Right. And there are people who get that. And there's others that, oh my God, for everything you can do, they will not get the monotone out of their voice. So they just sound flat. And that's tough. How do you get people to not sound that way, Jake? What do you do?
No, you can't teach it. It's something that you develop on your own, and it's kind of and it's getting confidence, like you said. It's
and you have to develop it on your own if you want it.
Correct. And I think it's got a lot to do with your guest being in here
Sure.
today. I mean, she's amazing, and she's giving me more confidence
Yeah.
because she's making this show better.
I know, but she doesn't.
And you
think
haven't
she is.
thrown anything at me. That's awesome.
So thank you, Jake, for being so nice to our guests.
Yes, thank
you. Haven't
you.
thrown anything, but no. The
Or
thing,
fallen asleep.
or fallen asleep. That's why I drink so much coffee too. But no. The bottom line is that it does make a difference that you have a personality, that you have, that you a point of view, but also that you have a sense of humor, because it really is not about being serious. I mean, as much as people, it's amazing. If you take a group of 5 kids and you tell them be an adult, the first thing they do is become serious. And being serious, a lot of that is constricting, and it makes the energy, sort of stop. Your creativity stops when you become serious. It's better to be playful. It's better to be open, And that's exactly what you're being. So we thank you very much for that, Angela.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's go back to your target audience and your target clients. We're going to talk more in depth about your business now.
Okay.
What size of business are you, and how many people do you employ?
We have a staff of 4 in-house, and we have a number of licensed and insured installers that we work with, for instance, for large projects that are higher up than perhaps our cars and vehicles can get.
Okay. So basically, for example, if I ordered a sign, it's basically one guy who creates it and another person who produces it.
It would be one of about 3, possibly.
Okay. Now, do you guys work a lot with realtors?
We do. Absolutely. Yes.
Because they use a lot of signs, for sure.
We do. We work a lot more with realtor vehicles. We do a lot more on the graphics ends, as far as perhaps doing something on their back window, doing magnets for the realtor, all of the shops, more so than we do perhaps the signs that go out in the front yards.
So I'm trying to figure out, that was well said. Does that work? That, like the magnets and stuff like that? And do people actually pay attention to that when...
People keep coming back, so I'm going to go with they work.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
Yes.
And
or they keep falling off and they need new ones. I haven't figured that one out.
Wrapping my car with my face on it, does that work too?
I would not always recommend a wrap. For instance, you get a much better bang for your buck as far as doing something a little bit more minimalistic. People see wraps, and a lot of times they just tune out.
Almost novelty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
absolutely.
It's like the clown car or something. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things that you see it, and you don't necessarily see it as something serious in business. It's just
Correct.
a thing.
They're not always designed to do what they're supposed to do.
Okay, yeah, or created properly either.
Exactly.
So do you help people evaluate those options also?
We can, absolutely. We can do the design work. We can do the print. We can do the installation. We can simply just install if that's all that's necessary.
I was going to ask you this too. I was curious. If somebody's running for office, are you someone that can supply signs?
Absolutely. We can do political signage as well.
Okay. And the politicians have to use certain colors always, right? They can't vary the colors they use.
It depends on the politician. We've done some that were your standard Texas flag with their information, and we've done some that were a little bit more outlandish than that.
Okay. So I can be creative if I want to.
You can, but you got to keep in mind that the point is that you need people to vote for you, or you need to sell somebody's house, for instance.
Right.
You don't want to be outlandish just to be outlandish.
Okay.
And that's what we run across sometimes.
Sure. Well, I'm an individual and I'm unique, and look at my uniqueness of putting the rainbow on a sign and me being whatever. And before you know it, I go home with my sign and an empty pocketbook.
Exactly.
And my attitude.
People remember the rainbow. They don't remember why they remember the rainbow.
Sure. There you go.
That's the problem.
Okay. So, but you give that kind of consulting, though.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't just make signs.
We do that
signs.
all day long.
Okay. And to have that kind of courage and that kind of conviction, Angela, how many years have you been in business now?
We've been in business 12 years now.
Okay. So you guys, and basically when you have a project of any size, do you guys discuss it as a team and sort of go over, the parameters and stuff like that to make sure?
We do. Absolutely. We have what we call a WIP meeting every morning. We have a board that's got all the projects. It's got due dates. It's got where in the process that particular project is. We know what installs are being done that day. And we also have this on a cloud-based point of sale system as well. So I can look at that from anywhere in the world, really.
Wow.
And see what's in my WIP, what's built, what's being installed.
So you can make a lot of money in your pajamas if you want to.
I could, absolutely.
Okay. But you have to get the clients first, though.
Correct, yes.
And for that, also, of course, you already said you do a lot of networking, and you're all over the place in terms of being seen and being exposed. You were saying also earlier that you do some work with South Houston people. Like you could work, if somebody called you from Galveston, you could go there.
We could, absolutely. We would do what we call a pre-qualification. We would talk to the people on the phone, decide if it looks like something that was worth both their time and our time.
Okay.
I will say we've never gone that far yet. We've gone to downtown many times. We've gone to Pearland, and we've gone to South Houston. And then, of course, we recently finished a project up in Huntsville.
Okay.
So kind of anywhere.
Someone who just joined our chamber has 37 years of experience as a realtor. So she's been a realtor longer than I've been alive. No, I'm kidding. Close. Anyway, she basically uses signs all the time. And she's realtor number 22 in our chamber. So we have 22 realtors in our Chamber of Commerce. I'm thinking maybe we should send them an email just specific to them and give them a special offer or something that you can maybe engage some of
I
those
would
people.
absolutely be willing to do that.
Yeah?
Yes. I don't know that I knew until now how many we had.
Yeah, there's a
So
ton
that's
of...
my fault,
and
yes.
God bless them. You know, they're everywhere, and they're very valuable to us because we love that they're out there doing their thing. You know, so yeah, 22 realtors. They're only second place to the people who do insurance in our chamber, and that has to be about 25, 26 people, that businesses that do insurance, you know. And tonight we have a ribbon cutting at Rocio Barajas Insurance Agency right off 45. So if you're listening and you'd like to visit this ribbon cutting, please make it a point to look at our website, look at our Facebook, and you can get some information. If you want more information about Angela and Image 360 North Houston, call 281-910-0843. When we come back, we're going to talk more about Angela's business and about what she's doing, and just get to know a little bit more of the person. We'll be right back.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey, Montgomery County, it's me, C.C. Holmes. And I would personally like to take this time to invite you, that's right, you, to join me every Saturday and Sunday from 3 until 7 p.m., where I will bring you the very best of smooth jazz, classic jazz, and indeed, yes, the soulful sounds of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So come along and get jazzy with me. That's right, jazzy. Right here, of course, on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlonestar.com.
This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez and the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio program designed for and specific to members of the Woodlands-Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Vintage Park Hispanic Chamber, the Katy Hispanic Chamber, the Heights, and the Galleria Hispanic Chamber. All 5 are part of the mothership called the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. It's the 501c6, of which all are members, and we really appreciate everyone that's involved with us. Today we're here with Angela Schimmels. She is with Image 360 North Houston. Visual communications. Here's a visual. It's a memory. It's something that's kept in your mind and that's burned into your mind from when you're a kid. It's seared in there. We were just talking about this during the break, that when you're a kid, when you're a child, basically you're taught to learn your phone number and your address because it's so important, right? And those two things, I mean, I don't know my driver's license number.
Oh, no.
You know,
No clue.
I know my social security number, but that's it, you know. And I don't even know my phone number, which is the weirdest thing. I know my phone number, but I don't know other people's phone numbers at all. Anybody, my parents, my wife, nobody. I don't know their phone number. I just know iPhone.
Yeah, I think my mom's phone number is called Mom.
Yeah, there you go. But if somebody said to me, Carlos, you know, they shook me at 4 a.m. and said, Carlos, tell me your address now, I would tell you my address of when I was 10 years old, because that one I have in my brain. So Jake has the same thing. Angela, why don't you have your 10-year-old address in your mind? What's going on? Did you not remember it when you were a kid? You didn't memorize it?
I don't think I ever knew what my address was.
Wow.
No.
You could have been lost.
I probably
probably
still am,
are.
as a matter of fact. Yes.
Could be that you're lost now. Okay, but that's, to me, it's amazing. 52 years old, and I still remember that. I do remember. I've lived all over the country. So working in hotels, I've lived all over the country, in Hawaii, in the Virgin Islands, and just all over the place. I don't remember any of those addresses. I remember the people,
Right.
but I don't remember the addresses. But I do remember when I was a young boy in Los Angeles, Dodger Stadium was just, you could see Dodger Stadium from my house, and so living in East Los Angeles, close to you, but you lived in a nice part of town. We were down in the...
Been to Dodger Stadium many a time. Yes, I would concur with that.
Not alone and at night. No, I'm kidding.
No.
But it can be a pretty rough part of town,
Yes.
for sure. And so we lived around there, and all that, to me, those were wonderful memories of when I was a kid, because we would go down to the Los Angeles River and catch frogs and pollywogs and fish.
Oh my goodness.
Does that ring a bell to you? I mean,
It does, but it's mainly from watching the movie Grease way too many times.
Wow. So you'd never go near it then?
Oh,
See?
no.
You were of the other type of crowd. So you were the kind of folks that we talked about. I'm kidding.
We probably were, yeah.
The thing is, growing up is such an innocent time of life, I remember we would go to the river all day and walk up and down the river, just catching frogs and putting them in pails, and taking them home. And so this is how you grow up. Anyway, so you grew up in Ventura County.
Yes, sir.
That's where you went to school.
Yep.
Okay.
Born and bred, Ventura County. Simi Valley was where I was probably the majority of my...
They make nice wine in Simi Valley, I've heard. It's called Simi Valley wine.
I don't know that I knew that,
Really?
actually.
It's actually a higher end. It's not like your box type of wine that you get for $2. This is a real type of wine.
Wow,
It's a
we
real
are
good
known
one.
for something.
Yes, Simi Valley for sure. Anyway, but being known for, do you have any packages or anything like that you do for small businesses? If somebody said, okay, Angela, I need to figure this thing about branding out. First of all, most people don't understand branding.
Correct.
Right. So do you start with that by, to help people?
We absolutely can. We have probably your very basic idea would be if somebody doesn't have a logo of any kind. You want a logo. You want somebody to know what you are and who you are, whether it's on your apparel, your vehicle, your business, your building, anywhere. And so we do have a logo package that we can start somebody with, and we sit down, we consult with you. We decide what you're try and figure out what you're accomplishing, who your target market is. If you have anything particular you want to incorporate that, and then we send it to our design team to start working on.
Okay. So who's your logo guy? Is he in-house or do you have a logo guy?
No, he is in-house, absolutely.
Okay. So, and basically he's the one that puts together the logo based on what the company's trying to do, of course.
Correct, yes. And then you end up with a very nice product that has many formats you can take, and you can put them on T-shirts, hats, signage, and graphics, of course.
Your car.
Letterhead, your car, anything you want.
Okay. So that's one package for small business owners, and that's for their branding, their marketing.
That's sort of what you would start out with if you have absolutely nothing, yes.
Okay. And do you have higher end stuff or just packages, for example? Do you have like a signed package for realtors?
To be honest, we have come up with one. It's very tailored. Each realtor we have found is unique. Some of them don't need the signs that you put in the yard because they'll get them, for instance, from their particular brokers. And so we don't really have a particular package that's geared for one realtor or one firm. Okay. Everything is custom, and we can come up with packages, and we have several, but I don't say that we have one particular one that's good for everybody.
So right now, for example, what would be a good offer for realtors? Let's say, for instance, you have 10 realtors that you're going to talk to about using your services.
Probably for realtors, the first thing we come to is the vehicle.
Okay.
We would give them a choice of something on their windows or some vehicle magnetics. Usually people will do one or the other. They don't usually do both. And then you'll usually come up with some business cards that you need, perhaps some yard signs, and then the frames that go along with those. Okay. That would be kind of a basic realtor package.
So let me ask you, why is it so important that realtors have their picture on their business cards? I mean, that's where you see it most.
It is. We see them on the signs as well, but certainly on the business cards. And I would think a lot of it is because you want to be known. You want people to know who you are when they see you. As you've already mentioned, there's a number of realtors out there. And the first thing people are going to know me by is my face.
Okay.
It helps distinguish you.
Does that apply to everyone then? I mean, like attorneys and just everybody? Should everybody have their picture on their business card if they want to be recognized?
I would say it is probably more prevalent with realtors than it is with other industries.
Okay. But nonetheless, do you think it matters? For example, there's a ton of people that sell, let's say, I don't know, coaches. That they sell coaching services.
Okay.
Professional services. Would it matter to them also to be like that?
I think if you're going to do it, you need to just make it subtle. You need to not make it overpowering, and really the most important thing that we see on pictures, and this is going to come out hopefully not as bad as it might, but it needs to be a current picture.
Oh, let me tell
It
you,
must be
okay.
a current picture.
So listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Angela wants to be nice, but hear it here and hear it clearly. When I talk to you and I hire you, I want you, not your daughter. In other words, I don't want your picture of 20 years ago. That is not good, no bueno. And I've seen people get fired for doing things like that. Celebrities do that, and speakers, trainers are notorious for that. Yes or no? Okay, let me tell you what.
We'll go with I'm pleading the fifth.
Okay. I've seen it. I'm a former dean of the National Speakers Association, so I trained a ton of people on becoming professional speakers and voice, the voice of a company, etc. And so when they send me their headshot, I've rejected headshots saying this is not you. I mean, you're so photoshopped, it's crazy. If your eyes are what they are, then that's what people want to buy. They want to buy the person, not that doctored up picture.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Be proud of what you look like.
Well,
I don't care what it is.
It's sad, but we do age. I mean, it is what it is. So don't be sad about it.
Well, some
Deal
of us
with it.
age. I don't know about you. I'm still 22.
There you go. Okay, so you can stay 22 mentally, but there's something will happen to the body. It's normal though, and so you have to deal with that by being mature about it. If your pictures don't represent who you are, that's a misrepresentation. And like I said, it has disappointed more people than I care to mention. Just because in the field, a big company calls and says, "I want Angela Schimmels because she looks beautiful," and I say, "Beautiful, show me her picture." And I see your picture, and it's when you were 15 or something. Like no, Angela's age. So let me show you her real picture. You know what I mean? Because people want an image.
Sounds like my driver's license at the airport.
Guys, update your pictures every 2 years. Every 2 years.
Absolutely.
So you guys don't do headshots and stuff like that.
Not really, no.
There's other folks that can do things like
Correct.
that. But nonetheless, what do you do when you come up with that? I mean, I can be pretty brutal just because the industry is that way. But what do you do when you see a picture of someone that wants to put it on their business card and it's not them?
We have very delicately, thank goodness, the couple examples I can come up with off the top of my head were people I knew fairly well. And so I definitely brought it to their attention that it was something that should be updated. One of them did not do it.
Wow.
And the other did.
Okay. So sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I'm here with Angela Schimmels. She is with Image 360, North Houston. Anything that has to do with visual communication, she is the one that knows how to do this. Talk to her at 281-910-0843 about any kind of branding needs. She's got packages. She's got great prices. Great member of our Chamber of Commerce, very involved, teaching us a lot of different things because she belongs to other chambers. So she's giving us a lot of her wisdom and her knowledge of many years. Been in business for 12 years. So someone you do want to speak to. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez. This is the Hispanic Chamber Connection Radio show live from Conroe. And we're about to sign off. So we'll see you again next week. Angela, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, like in 2 seconds? Thank you again. There it is. It's thank you again.
She was so good the whole show, but then she froze at the last second.
It was the last moment. You hit the right there at the finish line. We're joking, Angela. We're joking. All right. So thanks again, Angela, for being on the show.
You are very welcome.
And we'll see you next week with Bubarusa Productions. And again, Dr. Carlos Sanchez. We'll see you and have a great week. Thank you.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.